I learned very, very clearly that this is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And one has to be methodical, thorough, and take this one step at a time. Lay out your plan. And the old saying I remembered as a kid in Sunday school when I was 6 years old, plan your work, work you plan.
Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee describing some lessons he's learned as he now makes his second bid for the White House. But will this experience be enough to push him to the top of the crowded GOP field? Joining us now, noted political analyst and famed author Dick Morris. Of course, Dick is the co-author of Power Grab, Obama's dangerous plan for a one-party nation. Dick Morris, it's always great when you spend some time with us here on Newsmax Prime.
Good. Well, it's good to be here.
Now, it's interesting because both Mike Huckabee and Hillary Clinton have been to this dance before, yet they're both having some challenges. And we take a look at this, and a newcomer like Donald Trump at this point appears to be sailing along. Yeah. Do people overrate past experience?
I don't know about that. I think in Hillary's case, she's tripping over her past experience and choking on it. But in terms of Huckabee, you have really three candidates here who, as the debates come up, have the potential for a real breakout from the debates. One obviously is Trump, because of the stuff he's saying, the way he's putting it, and the truths that he's articulating. The second is Huckabee. Remember, he was nowhere in '08. But off his debate performances and his personality and his answers, his frankness, very Trump-esque, he propelled himself. And then the other is Ted Cruz, who I thought really helped himself the other day when he attacked the McConnell leadership and said, we have a Republican Senate. So how come we won't defund Obamacare, we won't hold down the debt limit, and we'll give the president all the power he wants to negotiate whatever he wants in trade deals with the Republican Senate. I think that those three have a real breakout capacity in the way they talk.
Well, let's talk more about Mike Huckabee. And you were saying, really, that his tell-it-like-it-is, common-sense stump style worked in 2008 in the Iowa debates, and yet all the media buzz seems to say, gee, Huckabee is following Donald Trump, especially in the wake of the comment on SiriusXM Patriot Channel this weekend comparing the Iran deal to the Holocaust.
Which I think was completely appropriate, completely. I think that, look, I feel that in the last analysis, there are two conceptual parts of the Republican Party, the country club and the populist. Country club and the farmer, in a sense. Huckabee is the farmer. Bush is the country club. And it's so interesting that you had talking about Huckabee while Jeb was on East Hampton raising money from Democrats, fat cat Democrats, at 3 East Hampton events, one of which gave him $250,000. This kind of stratospheric reliance on money, reliance on anesthetization of the Republican Party, that they won't make any noise, they'll be calm and quiet, is so much the opposite of a Cruz or a Huckabee or a Trump who say, let's make some noise here, let's protest this, let's get active on it. And I think the Republican voters want the latter, not the former.
Have about 3 minutes left. We need to go to the other side of the aisle now with Hillary and with this Iran deal. She said she supports it. Now, I don't know if she's going to be able to stick with that because there's real dissension in the Democratic Party over this deal.
Well, let's talk in general about Hillary for a minute. Hillary has lost huge favorability from like 70% down to the 60s, the 50s, and now down to 43. The question is, will she go lower than 40? Every president is gauged on a 1 to 100 scale, but not Obama. He's gauged on a 40 to 100 scale. Because like a golf handicap, the black, Latino, single women, gay, green base gives him 40% of the vote. So when he has a 0 job approval among everybody else, he'll have 40 because of that base. Will they stand by Hillary in the same way, or will she do what a normal politician does, like Bush did when he went crashing down to 27% job approval toward the end of his term? That will tell you how the election is going to come out. If the 40% hangs in there for Hillary, just like they did for Obama, she's going to win this election. If the 40% flakes on her and does not have that solidarity like they did for Obama, she is not going to win this election. And we'll know the answer to that in about 5 weeks.
30 seconds to talk about yesterday's news that Jonathan Pollard, the Israeli spy, is going to be paroled. Was this something to try and keep Israel happy in the wake of the Iran deal?
I think it was to keep Jewish voters happy. I think that he knows that Netanyahu understands that this is life and death for the Israeli nation, and one kid's life is not going to be a satisfactory recompense. But I think it shows him not being anti-Semitic, being pro-Israel, not being anti-Israel. It's a nice photo op, but what it does do is alienate the intelligence community. It'd be very interesting to see what blowback he gets from that.
And we will keep our eye on it. For now, Dick Morris, we thank you for your time. And this reminder to you, be sure to get the best-selling book, Power Grab by Dick Morris and Eileen McGann, by going to powergrab411.com.